Welcome, welcome. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe to my channel for more videos.
Welcome, welcome. Oh, don't look so nervous. You've been waiting for this, haven't you? The moment when the mask cracks, when the truth crawls out from the pretty little lies you've painted on your face. Ha! You see people like you love pretending the world makes sense. You wake up, brush your teeth, post your smiles, and call that living. But deep down, you know something's wrong. Something's rotting. Want to know how crazy looks? It looks like you staring into the mirror every morning, trying to convince yourself you're normal. But tell me, darling, what's normal in a world built on lies? They call me crazy because I laugh at the joke no one wants to hear, the punchline called truth. Hanslow clapping, congratulations! You've made it this far, pretending everything's fine. But guess what? The most dangerous man on earth has his eyes on you, and he's coming to meet you. No, not me, not yet. I'm just the one who tells the story before he arrives. He's that voice you try to drown out when you're alone. That heartbeat that races when you lie to yourself. That shadow that doesn't quite move when you do. He's the version of you that doesn't care anymore. The one who stopped apologizing. The one who stopped pretending to be okay. And he's coming to drag you into the mirror and make you watch what you've become. He laughs quietly, eyes glinting with delight. People laugh at me because I'm different. I laugh because they're all the same dull eyes, the same fake kindness, the same desperate need to be loved by people who wouldn't notice if they disappeared tomorrow. You post your pain behind filters. You smile for likes, cry in silence, and call it courage. You destroy others for entertainment and call it culture. You worship money, murder truth, and crucify honesty. All before breakfast, and then you look at me and call me the monster. Smile because it confuses them. Cry because it awakens you. Laugh because the world doesn't know what to do with someone who sees through it. You see, my friend, the dangerous man isn't the killer, the villain, or the madman. He's the one who's awake. The one who looks into the chaos and doesn't blink. He's the one you'll meet when all your pretending stops. And when he finally finds you, don't scream. Just smile. Because he's been inside you all along. Madness is just sanity that got tired of waiting. The most dangerous man is the awakened version of yourself. The one who stops pretending. He is not born in a war, or raised by chaos, or summoned by demons. He is created in silence, in the small cracks of your routine, when your soul whispers, "This isn't real." For years, you've played your part, smiled when you wanted to scream, obeyed when you wanted to run, loved people who drained you dry, and called it being good. You built a personality around survival, not truth. You convinced yourself that peace means silence, that fitting in means happiness, and that being accepted means being alive. But the moment you stop pretending, that's when something inside you wakes up, and he's not gentle. He doesn't care about your comfort zones. He doesn't care about how society sees you. He doesn't care about your image, your reputation, or your carefully curated mask. The awakened version of you doesn't bow to expectations, he breaks them. He walks through fear like smoke. He doesn't need validation because he finally understands something terrifying, that no one truly knows him, and no one ever will. He's beyond needing to be understood. He's too busy being. This man, this version of you, doesn't speak to please. He speaks to reveal. His words cut deeper because they're soaked in truth. When he says no, he means it. When he says enough, the world trembles. People will call him arrogant, cold, or ruthless, but deep down they envy him. They envy the man who cannot be controlled by opinions, by guilt, by fear. They envy his freedom, because the most dangerous thing a human being can possess isn't power, or wealth, or fame. It's clarity. Clarity burns illusions. Once you see how the world manipulates you, how it trains you to obey, consume, and stay quiet, you can never go back. The awakened man sees through every lie, the fake smiles, the polite cruelty, the emotional slavery of pretending to be fine. He doesn't chase love anymore because he understands that most people don't want love, they want control. He doesn't chase success because he knows success means nothing if it costs your peace. He doesn't chase happiness because happiness is not something you chase. It's what's left when you stop running. He learns that solitude is not loneliness. It's a weapon. It's where he rebuilds himself from the ashes of who he used to be. The awakened man isn't bitter. He's aware, and awareness looks like madness to people still asleep. They'll say he's changed, that he's colder now, that he doesn't care anymore. But that's because he stopped caring about the wrong things. He stopped bleeding for people who never clapped when he healed. And when he walks into a room, people feel it. They don't know what it is, but something about him makes them uncomfortable, like standing in front of a mirror that shows too much truth. He doesn't threaten anyone. His existence alone is the threat, because the awakened man reminds others of the power they've buried. He is living proof that freedom exists, but it demands the death of your comfort, your lies, and your fear. He is dangerous because he cannot be bought, cannot be tricked, and cannot be broken by loneliness or rejection. He is dangerous because he remembers who he was before the world told him who to be. He walks with a calm that comes from chaos, a strength that comes from scars, and a smile that comes from seeing everything, and still choosing to stand tall. He's not a rebel. He's not a saint. He's not a monster. He's you, finally awake. Society's normal is built on lies, masks, and silent madness. From the moment you open your eyes, you are taught what to believe, how to behave, and who to become. You are handed a script before you even learn to speak. Go to school, get good grades, find a job, get married, smile, obey, and die quietly. They call it life. But what if it's just a cage with prettier walls? You see, the world doesn't want you to be real. It wants you to be manageable. And the only way to control a person is to convince them that their cage is freedom. So, we learn to lie. Not because we want to, but because the truth is dangerous. You lie when you say you're fine. You lie when you smile at someone you secretly hate. You lie when you agree just to keep the peace. You lie when you pretend you're not breaking inside. Society rewards you for being fake. It claps for masks, not faces. The more you pretend, the more they applaud. But when you dare to be honest, when you dare to say, "I'm not okay," the world suddenly turns cold. They call you weak, dramatic, unstable. That's the silent madness, the kind that grows when truth becomes rebellion. People wear masks so long they forget their real faces. You meet them every day, smiling zombies walking around, laughing at things they don't find funny, loving people they don't trust, and chasing dreams they never wanted. They post pictures of happiness while drowning in their own minds. They call it social media, but it's a digital masquerade ball. Everyone pretending to have it together while falling apart in private. It's also painfully normal, isn't it? This sickness of pretending, this addiction to approval. You see, society doesn't want truth tellers. Truth is messy, unpredictable, and uncontrollable. It wants obedient souls who follow trends, not purpose. It wants you to stay distracted, scrolling, spending, gossiping, comparing. It gives you entertainment instead of enlightenment, comfort instead of courage. And the most frightening part, you start believing it's your choice. You think you're free, but your thoughts were manufactured long before you had them. You think you're unique, but your desires were programmed by marketing. They don't need chains anymore. They built a system that makes you love your prison. The madness of society isn't in the violence or corruption. It's in the silence. Everyone sees the problem, but no one speaks. Everyone feels empty, but no one admits it. Everyone is tired, But we all keep running the same race, pretending the finish line means something. We gossip about others' mistakes because it distracts us from our own misery. We worship success but define it by what we own, not who we are. We build walls around our hearts and call it maturity. We wear exhaustion like a badge of honor and call it ambition. That's the insanity hidden under normalcy. The quiet, invisible suffering that everyone carries and no one dares to acknowledge. But the truth is, normal was never meant to heal you. It was meant to keep you small. It was meant to keep you afraid of standing out, afraid of asking why. Because if too many people wake up, the system collapses. The masks fall. The lies unravel. The world has no idea what to do with a human who refuses to play the game. That's why authenticity feels dangerous. Because it is. Being real threatens the entire illusion. And yet, somewhere deep down, every soul is starving for it. For something raw, something unfiltered, something true. Beneath all the pretending, every heart is whispering the same thing: I want to be free. But freedom requires honesty, and honesty is chaos to a world built on lies. Society's normal is a beautifully decorated madness, a performance so convincing that even the actors forget they're on stage. But when the curtain finally falls, when the masks shatter and the silence breaks, only one question remains. Who were you before the world told you who to be? True insanity is seeing the world clearly and still smiling. It's not about losing your mind. It's about finding it in a place where everyone else has lost theirs. It's looking at the chaos, the corruption, the cruelty, and not breaking. Not pretending it's fine, not ignoring it, but facing it fully, eyes wide open, and still managing to grin. That's not madness, that's mastery. Because to see reality without its makeup, to stare into the dark heart of existence and not collapse, that takes a strength most people will never understand. People think insanity is screaming, breaking things, or losing control. But no, true insanity is calm. It's quiet. It's when you finally see the world for what it is. A stage of liars, lovers, and lost souls. And you stop trying to fix it. You just laugh, because now you know the joke. You see how people destroy each other while preaching love. How they worship money and call it purpose. How they wear masks so long they forget their real faces. You see the hypocrisy, the manipulation, the desperation, and instead of hating it, you smile. Because what else can you do? You can't save everyone. You can't change a world that doesn't want to be healed. But you can choose how you respond. You can choose to smile, not because it's okay, but because you've accepted that it never will be. There's a strange freedom in that realization. When you stop demanding that life be fair, it can't disappoint you anymore. When you stop expecting honesty from liars, loyalty from opportunists, or peace from chaos, suddenly everything becomes clear. Pain doesn't vanish, but it loses its power over you. Fear doesn't disappear, but it no longer dictates your choices. You start laughing at the absurdity of it all. The rules, the systems, the illusions. People call it madness because they can't comprehend peace without control. They need everything to make sense. You, on the other hand, learn to dance in the senselessness. To see the world clearly is to see both its beauty and its horror intertwined. You see how fragile people are, how desperately they cling to meaning, how they build religions, governments, and stories just to avoid the void. You see how suffering shapes souls, how every scar hides a secret prayer, how love is both salvation and poison. And when you see all of that, not through the lens of judgment, but through the eyes of understanding, something in you changes. You stop running. You stop fighting what is. You just smile, not out of apathy, but out of awakening. That smile is rebellion. It's defiance against despair. It's the silent declaration that no matter how dark the world becomes, it cannot own your spirit. The truly insane are not the ones who break. They are the ones who bend and laugh. They are the ones who can walk through a burning city and still find poetry in the flames. They see through lies but don't drown in them. They understand pain but don't let it consume them. They know that everything, every joy, every loss, every scream, is part of the same divine absurdity. When you reach that state, you stop needing permission to exist. You stop waiting for peace and start being it. You stop trying to fix life and start feeling it. And every laugh that escapes your lips becomes an act of war against the emptiness. That's true insanity. The kind that terrifies the sane because it cannot be controlled. It's the moment you look at the brokenness of the world, recognize the same cracks in yourself, and still smile anyway. Because in that smile lies the greatest secret of all. Clarity is not a curse. It's freedom dressed as madness. The Joker's chaos exposes the truth people fear to face. His madness isn't random, it's a mirror. Every explosion, every laugh, every word that slips from his painted mouth is a reflection of the world that built him. Society loves to point fingers at monsters because it keeps them from looking at their own reflection. They call him insane, but he's the only one who dares to say what everyone already knows but is too afraid to admit. That behind every smile there's rage. Behind every law there's corruption. Behind every so-called civilized act there's hunger for control. He doesn't create chaos. He reveals that it was always there, hiding behind the illusion of order. You see, people build systems and call them justice, but those systems are built on fear. Fear of failure, fear of rebellion, fear of truth. They need everything labeled, categorized clean. They need villains and heroes so they can sleep at night believing the world still makes sense. But the Joker, he tears down that illusion. He shows them that everyone has a mask, and it only takes one bad day to rip it off. He doesn't destroy the world, he unmasks it. He shows people who they truly are when the lights go out and the rules stop mattering. That's why they fear him, because he doesn't play by their script. He laughs at the chaos because he understands it, because he came from it, because he is it. His chaos is not without logic. It's a cruel kind of truth-telling. When he burns hypocrisy. When he breaks illusions. He forces people to confront the part of themselves that craves destruction, the secret wish to see everything collapse just to feel alive. Deep down, every human being has that spark of chaos inside, but they bury it beneath jobs, routines, and polite conversation. The Joker drags it back into the light and says, "See, this is you too." That's what makes him terrifying. Not his violence, his honesty. He understands something most people refuse to order is just well-dressed madness. People pretend to be good only because they're afraid of consequences. Strip away the laws, the cameras, the applause, and suddenly you see what they really are. Hungry, desperate, cruel. The Joker doesn't change people. He just takes away their excuses. He exposes the fragile morality of a world that only behaves when someone's watching. He whispers the truth everyone hides from. No one is truly innocent. Everyone's a little broken, a little twisted, a little hungry for chaos. And the moment you admit that, you stop pretending. That's what his chaos does. It awakens. It's not about anarchy for its own sake. It's about tearing down the walls that keep people blind. He mocks the idea of sanity because sanity is just society's word for obedience. People follow rules because they fear the void. The Joker lives in that void. He makes it his stage, his home, his masterpiece. Every act of chaos he commits is a question thrown at humanity. What will you do without your rules? Without your masks? Without your comfort? And when they finally snap, when they reveal the monster inside, he smiles. Because that's the truth he's been trying to show them all along. People hate him not because he's wrong, but because he's right. They can't stand the idea that their morality is fragile, that their peace is fake, that their goodness depends on stability. The Joker's chaos strips away the safety nets, and suddenly they see themselves. The same madness, the same hunger, the same darkness. His laughter echoes because it's familiar. It's the sound of recognition. That's the secret people don't want to face. The Joker doesn't corrupt the world. He reflects it. He holds up a cracked mirror, and the world flinches at its own reflection. His chaos isn't evil. It's the unfiltered truth. And truth, in a world built on lies, will always look like madness.